All right, going live in three, two, one. Well, this is Undeniably Unstable with Chardonnay, episode number one. How are you doing, Chardonnay?
Good. Aliens.
Yeah,
Good.
this, as I was talking before the show, I pointed out your shirt there, which is really interesting.
This is the
Where did
best shirt in the world.
where did you get that?
Internet. Yeah.
Wasn't sure maybe if you visited Area 51 and there was like a souvenir place or something close by.
Someone made that exact comment earlier when they saw this shirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were like, "Did you get that from storming Area 51?"
There's a I don't know if I've said this before, but there's a little restaurant that's located outside of Area 51 called the Little Alien, and like in like INN, like a restaurant, and it's they sell a bunch of souvenir stuff. That would be my first thought when I saw that. When maybe you went to the Little Alien to get that. So
It's really cool. The alien.
'cause, from what I understand, they don't let they were featured in a movie about 10 years ago. Now they don't let anyone in there anymore with cameras anymore. So I don't know why exactly, but it's a definitely a tourist attraction. It's very small thing. So now, would you like to go back to our question from our last show?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
I
I
think it
believe it
was
was. Yeah, go
uh,
ahead.
no, same. I think it was if you believed aliens had made contact on Earth.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up right now. Here it is. There we go. So yeah, do you think aliens have visited Earth? So,
Mm.
and we got 4,100 votes, which is pretty good. 71% with yes, they have visited Earth.
Hmm.
Uh, that's pretty high. The 12% with no, 9% with I am an alien, and 8% with I don't care. Hmm. Now, I tried to keep this spontaneous. I read the first response there at the top before we went live, and I was like trying to figure out what that meant. I'm from Vertas. I'm the first one. What does that mean? Do you know what that means? I don't know what that means exactly.
Why don't we give it a goog?
I tried that, and nothing really came up.
Oh, well,
Let me see. Let me try this again. See what comes up here. Uh,
Verswas Medical?
yeah, I'm not sure. I don't see anything here. Hmm. Oh, there's a. I don't know if that's Veritas. There's a Project Veritas. I know what that is, but I don't think that's what they're talking about.
What's
This is
that?
Veritas. Well, I'm not sure what that means, so we'll have to skip over that one unless someone
Maybe that's
knows.
like their planet.
Oh, maybe
They
so.
dropped the name of their planet.
Oh
Drop
yeah.
the name of your planet in the comments always.
Dylan B says yes. They visited and they stayed. We are the aliens with a little alien face next to that. I'm not sure what this says. 12 asterisk. What? Okay. Utilizer says yes, and most likely they have not left the Earth. I think bacteria from another planet have entered our atmosphere via asteroid, survived the impact, and they have no chance to leave our planet. That's actually pretty. I've heard that scenario from a purely scientific point of view. That yeah, some forms of life, very small, microscopic. I think it was bacteria, can actually survive through space and actually can enter our atmosphere if surviving the extreme cold and the extreme heat from being in space and from burning through the atmosphere and actually make it to our planet's surface. We might have talked about that before. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
The so that is a very from what I understand a very plausible scenario. So
Yeah, I could see that. There's like man, I used to pay attention in biology. There is I think it's eukaryotic bacteria. It's like uh the life developing bacterias that existed in the earliest days of Earth. But then there was a even earlier, more volatile stage of bacteria that like I think totally plausibly could exist on asteroids, especially given like the extremes in temperatures.
hmm, okay. The unfortunately, I never took biology when I was in high school. I skipped over that. So
You skipped biology?
Yeah, I didn't want to. I didn't want to kill any small animals. So my school had the option where if you wanted to, you could skip it if you took a vocational course instead. So I took a vocational course.
The animals you dissected in school weren't already dead?
I don't know. I didn't take the class, so I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
So let's see. Next one down. No, I don't think it happened, but that doesn't mean I think it did not. Huh? What? Wait a minute. No, I don't think it. I I didn't think it happened, but that doesn't mean I think it did not. Um, I'm not sure what that means exactly.
Take a stance. Gotta take a stance.
This is there is many evidence like Area 51. Okay, I guess that means he thinks yes, they are. I guess so.
Mhm.
Wait, Allah know that. Okay. Uh, yes, but in GTA San Andreas and South Park also. Okay, I'm not. You a South Park fan? I haven't watched South Park in a long time, so I'm not.
I am a South Park fan. I was just watching the Fractured Butthole episode yesterday.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched it in a long time, so I'm out of touch with that show. So I used to watch it way back when it first came out, but that's the earliest I've ever. That's the latest I've seen it. I mean, so
Was it ridiculously political back then? I've only seen like episodes from the past like 6 years.
no, not really. No, it's just
Oh
more.
man, it is crazy confrontational now.
Oh, is it really? Oh,
Yeah. It's a very confrontational animation.
are they? The writer, the creators of the show? I've seen them interviewed. It doesn't surprise me. Are would you say that it's worth watching then at this point, or how would you recommend? Would you recommend it?
Oh yeah, I would recommend it now. Definitely, there are a lot of deep cuts, which I enjoy.
Well, now there was one when the show when I watched the show, I remember watching probably about within the past 5 to 10 years. I watched an episode, having not watched it in a while, and I remember the four little boys were in it. Are they still there? Because when I watched this
Yeah,
episode, they weren't even in it. Which the episode I saw, which is I was like, what happened? What happened to the four little boys? I
they've
wasn't sure.
expanded the universe.
What's that?
They've expanded the South Park universe.
Okay. I figured that's probably what it was, but I didn't see them in this one episode at all, so I wasn't sure if they were still there or not. So the okay, all right. Well, is he? Maybe I'll try it out again. I wasn't sure. I do remember there was a movie called South Park the movie. Did you ever see that?
Mm-hmm.
And that I don't know. Actually, I don't think I saw that. That's about the time when I stopped watching the show. So and it wasn't like I didn't not like I didn't like it or anything. I just didn't. I just lost interest. So.
No, I understand that.
All right, so let's see. Beside my so who's that say? K something says beside my house. Okay. It says Dark Knight says, ooh, that's 7% people. What was the 7%? I
The
just
7% of people that said no.
or maybe I'm an alien, maybe. Perhaps at the time it was probably at 7%.
Oh, okay.
I doubt he was referring to that. I don't care, but maybe he was. I don't know. So I'm an alien from Jupiter. As I say, Jupiter, yes. The it's considered Jupiter is like a big gas planet. So
Yeah, you are absolutely not an alien from Jupiter.
perhaps one of the moons of Jupiter. I could see that maybe.
Yeah,
So
one of the moons, maybe. There was I think Neil Gaiman in one of the episodes of Cosmos did like this whole bit about like what character designers and some scientists get together and they try to conceptualize what a Jupiter alien would be.
yeah, from the actual planet Jupiter, not the moons,
Yeah,
right?
the actual planet Jupiter.
What did they come up with? It was I mean, I'm just curious because it would have to be very. I would assume like something that could fly, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That was like one of the main things was that the surface of Jupiter is extremely deep, like towards the core. There's virtually no surface on Jupiter, so you would have to be able to fly or float.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, because it's just basically all gas. So, and by the way, I'm going to change the subject slightly here. I found before we started the show, you and I were talking, and our audience may not know what we're talking about, but we were trying to look up a name of a movie. I finally looked while we were talking. I found it. It's called Arrival. Arrival.
Arrival, gotcha.
So
And
when we expand, when we go further into our discussion, we can talk about Arrival. So.
Mhm.
So if anyone's wondering, we were having a discussion before the show, and I could not remember the name of the movie about aliens visiting Earth, and I did a search while we were talking, and I finally found it. So I'm so happy now that I did that. Now, let's see. Sandeep Mohan R says no. Let's see. Jesus San Andreas says the reptilians are already among us. Amigo, OMG. How do you feel about the reptilians?
I think we talked about this the last episode. The reptilians are my
Yeah.
favorite idea of aliens there are.
What's that? Say it again. I'm sorry. I missed that.
The reptilians, they're my favorite concept of what an alien could be.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty much, just, I think I might have said this, but basically just a delusion from a guy who got high one time and saw the movie They Live. So,
Mhm.
which by the way, They Live is another alien movie we can discuss. That's very good. If you're an alien, how is it like in space or wherever you are living on Earth? That's actually a pretty good question. Because the atmosphere would be completely different from another planet. I mean, the idea of actually surviving on Earth from another planet living on living from another planet living on Earth. I mean, that's the idea. A lot of space movies and TV shows and like Star Trek and Star Wars will have it so they go to another planet. Everything's just like on Earth, and everyone can just survive. But that's not the way it is. So
Mhm.
the idea of how would you be able to survive on another planet, because the atmosphere is going to be even if it's similar, there's going to be some change. It's not going to be exactly the same. I mean,
Yeah.
how could you possibly survive? I mean, I used to think about that. Like you ever heard of a sad light, a sad lamp?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it would to like help with like if you like it's supposed to help
Yeah.
people to get the
No, I dabbled with sad lamps in college.
okay. So and basically that's I have one of those, and I thought it might help me with an issue I was going through at the time. And
Mhm.
I'm thinking to myself, if I'm living on Earth and I'm having issues with the sun, imagine an alien coming to to this planet. I mean, they would major issues with everything around them. So
Yeah.
they probably have to live within a small spacesuit or something, or live within a ship. They couldn't even probably come out of their ship unless they had something that would allow them to survive here. So, and let's see, what's the last one say? I think it's the last one. Yeah, they probably did, but personally think aliens are in space. I have a feeling they live somewhere in Earth or something that we don't know about somehow. Okay.
Yeah. The inner Earth theory.
Is that what he's referring to?
I think maybe there's a whole like line of theories that come from the idea that the inner cores of Earth are hollow, or that there are beings that landed here and could exist in the conditions closer to Earth's core, or even like under the ocean.
Right. I think we discussed that part. I remember us discussing that.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Which
Uh
is a crazy theory.
yeah, yeah. The other I mean basically if the one of the things that seems to be that does seem to be prevalent or not prevalent, but does exist outside of our planet on other like at least moons in our solar system are is water. Water has been found. So the idea of something maybe living underwater may be something that would be more believable than living in our atmosphere, because our atmosphere had to be created. Obviously, water is not, it was our atmosphere is a creation of the living things that are on this planet, whereas water is not. So that
Mhm.
something maybe that we could live in water, maybe living on Earth in that capacity, maybe. So if they had it in their planet. So
Gotcha.
All right. So what do you did as far as the answer? Well, I'm actually I guess I'm a little surprised. Maybe not no, not too much. I guess I didn't expect the yes to be that high. I was thinking maybe closer to 50%. So what do you think?
No way. I totally expected it to be that high. Especially in the past few years, and they've straight up been like, "Oh yeah, there's been UFOs the whole time." Like you guys can just come down to Arizona or New Mexico, is it?
The how about the how about the crater in Arizona? Have you ever been there? Is that where
To Meteor City, is that what you're talking about?
it's a
No, is that in New Mexico also? I think I'm thinking of New Mexico.
there's a big crater. I think it's in Arizona. It's not. I visited it once. It's huge, and
Hmm.
I think it had. I think it impacted the Earth like 50,000 years ago. I think, which relatively recent. If I'm saying that, that's pretty not too long ago. Which is kind of scary because it could happen. That means it could happen very again happen soon. Um, but hold on. Let's see if I can bring up an image of it so we can take a look at it here. That was the plot of a movie because we were thinking about talking about movies there. Um, the movie, what was that movie called?
Yes, it is the Meteor Crater in Meteor City, Arizona. Yes, I have been there.
You've been there? Oh, okay,
Yes. Yeah.
okay.
Um, me and my friends were like driving to Las Vegas, and I made a stop in Meteor City, not because of the crater, but because Meteor City is in Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fun fact.
I didn't know that. I've never played Pokemon, so I wouldn't be able to. I didn't know that. So
You're a
interesting.
very selective nerd, Zoom. And that's what I appreciate about you.
So this is what did you go into into the area itself?
Yeah. We didn't go inside the crater, but like we there's like a little trail there. Yeah.
The I remember going up there. Did you have to pay to go in to see it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the when I went there, I was with my best friend and I. We were like driving across country, and we stopped in, and it's like we had to pay to go in, so we just went to the tourist shop, and then we just left. We didn't bother paying. We didn't feel like paying them any money. So, but did you ever see the movie Starman?
Mm-mm.
Starman says that the meteor was the creator was created by aliens that visited Earth long ago. So and they actually show this crater in the movie, and at the very end of the movie, that's giving spoilers, but I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. But the a large orb, like almost like another planet, a small planet of sorts, or maybe a moon, comes down, and it fills in the gaps of the meteor, and then like that's when the Starman who visited Earth, he actually leaves and goes away in that thing. So, but and it looks like when I'm sure you notice it as well. When you approach it, it looks like a big mountain almost when you're approaching it from the side.
Oh yeah. But everything in Arizona looks like a big mountain. No, but it's really cool. I have a friend, the friend I went with in question, she actually has like this phobia of depths. So like I think there's like the tourist shop and then like this little pathway that they take you to stand up there. And it's like insane. The picture does not do it justice. It is daunting.
Uh-huh. The one thing I remember in the tourist shop, there was a penny crusher. You put your penny in there, and you could crush it into a form of something. Like,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, there we go. So is this where you were, right here?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. How much did it cost to go in there? I think my friend and I were just cheap. I don't think we. Was it,
I don't really remember.
oh,
Um, no, it wasn't like expensive or anything. It was definitely less than $20.
oh, okay, okay. All right. So, what do you have a question you'd like to ask for the next for our viewers for today?
Yes. I want to know who the viewers or which franchise the viewer thinks has the better alien. Yeah, that's the question. Which franchise has the best alien?
Franchise.
As far as like concept, ability, like how you feel an alien should like look, or what you hope an alien might be. I guess as far as concept, yeah.
Okay. Wait, franchise. How am I? F-R-A-N. How's it? How's it spelled? Is it C?
CHISE.
That's with the H. That's what I was missing. Oh, there we go. Okay. A little brain fart there. Which franchise do you think has the best? Oh, how about Alien Concept?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What would you put as your first option?
Alien versus Predator.
No, that's two aliens right there.
Well, like the Predators were like.
How about we want to break them up into two, like Alien be one, and then the next one be Predators?
Yeah, we could. They're like the same universe, though.
Okay. Well, I think from what I understand, the Alien versus Predators franchise weren't considered like canon, as they say. It's like to the either one. They were just basically spin-offs because
okay.
Because the later movie, like with Prometheus, kind of contradicts the whole idea of what happened in those movies. So I'm not an expert on this, but I think that from what I understand, Alien, there was just an idea to get the two together.
Gotcha.
So
I was connecting them all in my head. I have to watch Prometheus again. I didn't really like the Prometheus movies.
Yeah, I saw the first one, and I it's kind of forgetful, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I don't think I saw any of the ones after that. Was it just one other one that occurred after that? I can't remember.
No, I think there are two after that.
Oh, there's two. Okay.
One more after that. There's definitely a sequel.
Okay. So do you want to do both, or do you want to separate them?
Oh, well, yes, now we have to separate them, right?
Okay, yeah.
We gotta keep it legit.
Alien movies. How do you say that? So, how about the Alien movies? Let's put the actual names in there. Alien, aliens. So people know what we're talking about, because when you see that, they might not know what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Alien 3. Yeah. What was the fourth one called? I can't remember. Oh well.
And Prometheus.
What's that?
And Prometheus.
Oh right. You would give me one that I would ask you how to spell. P-R. Let's see. We go up here. There we go. Let's steal it from here. There we go. Get rid of extra P and we'll be all set. Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah, Predator. Are there, aside from the Alien versus Predator movies, there have been 3 of those, right?
Yeah.
Predator. Okay, I think people know what that is, so we don't have to give examples for that. What else?
Halo.
Halo. Okay, I've never played that. Is that good?
You've never played Halo?
Nope, never played it.
Oh my gosh.
How many aliens are in that? Is it like multiple species, one species? I don't know.
So it's like the concept of aliens in Halo. It's like they're a militaristic society, and the tier of military you are depends on the type of alien you are born. So they're like a small covenant aliens called grunts. Then there are bigger ones called elites. Even larger ones called hunters, but they're all from the same planet. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It sounds to me like it's a game you would recommend then.
Oh, it's like one of my favorite games in the history of ever.
Well, how many have there been so far? There's been more than one, right? Obviously.
Yeah, there have been like 7.
Okay.
8.
So if like someone were to start from scratch, like me, I know of the games, I just never played them. Like, which would be the best one to start with? The first one?
You gotta start with the first one. Yeah.
Okay, because like I wasn't sure, because like when it comes to like say Grand Theft Auto,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to start with the first Grand Theft Auto game, because it's completely different from like the modern ones. It's so different. It's not even the same type of game. You would tell people to start with a more recent, more newer version, because if they tried to play the first one, they'd be like, "What is this?" It looked like an old style arcade game. So it's so radically different. So.
It does like look old and everything, but they keep the style of gameplay and the story and the weapons. Like they keep most things pretty consistent throughout the series.
Okay.
The only reason I could think to play the games out of order is to get like the story in order.
Oh, I see. So the story is progressive. So like each one it continues from the last one.
No, it is not linear, unfortunately.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. So are the weapons realistic?
So the human weapons are militaristically correct, if that's what you're asking. The alien weapons are like a completely different story.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it would be the human weapons then, I guess, at that point. So
but no, in the game you do get to like use all the alien weapons, and that's like one of the best things about the game. It's great.
The one alien game I played was called Duke Nukem 3D. Did you ever see that?
Oh yeah, I used to love Duke Nukem.
Yeah, I played that a lot when it was back in the 90s. So
that's hilarious. Sorry, go ahead.
What's the next choice? You have another choice for
Mass Effect.
Okay, 1 second. I misspelled movies. Wait a second. Just caught that. Get that. Oops. There we go. Mass Effect. I have Mass Effect 2 installed on my computer right now, but I never played it. Is that
killing me?
I'm looking to see if that's what I have. Hold on a second. I'm looking at my icons on my desktop right now. I think it's Mass Effect 2. Which is the best of that one? I know there was one that came out more recently that some people found controversial. I don't know if it is Mass Effect 2. I see it now. I see my icon. So, did you find the most recent one controversial at all?
I didn't care that much. No, I didn't find it controversial. It's like, so they kind of take like the story in a new direction, but they're kind of doing the same thing with Halo, and I'm not like mad about it. It's a really old game. So I haven't looked into it that hard.
And so the one I have, would that be worth going through Mass Effect 2? Would that be a good one to start with?
Definitely play Mass Effect 2. I think that was my favorite one.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I purchased it. Maybe I'll give it a try then. How about the last one? You let people choose, let them choose their own?
Sure, but I was going to say Avatar as well. The Avatar.
Okay, well, we can put Avatar in there. Okay. I think I saw Avatar. I know and I say I think because if I did, I got bored with it. So,
yeah.
I saw it, and if I saw it, it wasn't definitely not at the theater. It was like I think I saw it at home sometime. But how did you like it?
I liked it when I saw it in like 2012, and like in the sense that I haven't really seen it again. I love it.
It came out before 2012 though, didn't it?
I thought it came out like 2012 or 2010 or something like that.
I think it was before that because I remember the last place I actually had a job before I started my own business. I was working there in 2011. I remember talking to somebody there about it, and
2009. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I was asking. It's funny. The question I asked him. Have you ever heard of Avatar? And he looked at me and I said, I never heard of it before. And he looked at me, gave me this weird look like, you never heard of Avatar? So.
Yeah, like I think it was like the highest grossing film since like Titanic.
Yeah, there's a range of movies I like to tell people. If it comes out sometime between 1997 and 2013, there's a chance I've never heard of it because I was so preoccupied with my career at that point that I didn't focus on pop culture stuff like movies and TV shows. Sometimes certain shows I did. I was addicted to certain TV shows, but a lot of times I just don't know certain things. So you have to excuse me when it comes to movies that came out within that era sometimes. So
that statement is such a mixture of admirable, tragic, and relatable. I don't even know what to do with it. So you didn't see the Hobbit movies?
I saw the Lord of the Rings. I did see those. So I mean I'm not saying I was completely
not Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit.
I tried to watch the first Hobbit movie and I got bored with it. I'm sorry. I got like halfway through it and I couldn't get through the rest. I did not see it at the theater. I saw the original Lord of the Rings at the theaters though, so I did see
Mhm.
those. But no, The Hobbit. I tried to watch the first one. It just got boring for me. I don't know. Did you like it? I heard a lot of people said it wasn't as good as the Lord of the Rings.
It was not as good as the Lord of the Rings, but I love the Hobbit movies.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Um, no, I love those movies. I loved the books, so
I did see. No, maybe you've seen this. I don't know. Hold on, I'll bring it up here. Uh, I don't know if it's on here or not. Here it is. This is Here it is right here. This is The Hobbit from 1977. Have you seen that version?
no. What?
It was a I the I saw that one from when I was a kid. I remember seeing this one from beginning to end. So I do know based on this story, this version of the movie, I would have to say that it's completely animated.
Mhm.
So if this story is accurate in any way, then I have seen that I would have to say this is the closest I've ever seen to actually seeing The Hobbit from beginning to end in any way. So,
Yeah.
but I don't remember. I was very young when I saw it. I mean, so I don't know. It might be worth watching. It might be crap for all I know. I was so young at the time. I was a little kid watching something. They'll be turned on by anything. So who knows? But I do remember when I saw it, my mother telling me that the animation at the time was considered to be very, very advanced for the time it came out. It was very well done. So,
I'm afraid you've
oops,
come to the wrong.
oops, I'm not sure. Oops, didn't mean to play. I don't want to get a copyright there. But anyway, yeah, maybe if you like The Hobbit, that may be something you might want to check out sometime. So,
Mhm.
it's, there was also they also had a sequel for some reason. It was called. I would say that it was Return of the King, meaning that I meant that I don't think they had the other two books for the Lord of the Rings. They just skipped right to the Return of the King for some reason, which is kind of strange. So, does that look good? Which franchise do you think has the
Yeah.
best alien concept? Okay, I'm going to go
Mhm.
ahead and post that, and we can come back to that. Cool. And if anyone wants to, did I spell Avatar right? Well, it's too late now. The
Yes, you
uh
did.
Yeah, I think I thought so. Yeah, if anyone has any, if they want to put their own personal favorite in there, they usually do. They'll put it in the comments section below, and we can always read that. So, all right,
Mhm.
and we can come back to that one. All right, so we were talking last week. We left off. Now, before we started the show, you brought up Stanton Friedman.
Yeah.
The so, have you looked up Stanton Friedman at all?
I have since we spoke last. I saw an article that was posted May 21st, 2019, saying that he died. So, did he die a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, no, I watched like one of his video, and I was reading like the article about like they released after his death, which the exact article I read is from the New York Times. Um, but yeah, no, I watched one of his videos. So like it was cool because you mentioned last time that like if there was anyone you would believe about like aliens coming to Earth, it would be him.
Well, that's not exactly what I said was, I said, I not necessarily believe. I respect him. I know that's what I mean. Yeah, I'm not saying this is. I'm not saying I believe what he's saying, but I would respect him because I don't think he's trying to scam anybody. I don't think he's trying to make a name for himself. I don't think he's trying to do anything like that. I think he's honest in what he was saying. So,
Yeah.
I got some pictures of. Here you go. There he is up on the podium. Did you watch him speak to the audience? Like he was a lot of videos where he does that, where he speaks in front of an audience.
Yeah. Uh,
And
sorry, go ahead.
I think I said this last time, but he's been to me it looked like a preacher at a sermon at a
Mhm.
church almost. That's what it almost felt like, and it kind of reemphasized the idea in my head that people who believe this is more of a religion than science to them. They want to believe it so much, and this is their version of going to church, so to speak.
Mhm.
Stanton Friedman would stand up on a podium and he would talk about how we believe in this stuff, and they all go nod their heads, yes, we believe, yes, we believe, and that's what it felt like. It was just a group of people. Every time I watched any of his comments, it just felt like he was, professing to the choir, or professing to his, what do you call it when the people in a church? I don't remember what they're called now.
The
The
procession?
yeah, what'd you say? I'm sorry, say it again.
Procession? Is that what
Yeah,
it's called?
I think that's what it is. Yeah, yeah. So, um, and I don't think he's also one. We talk about the guy from 51, Bob Lazar. Did we talk about
Yeah,
Bob Lazar?
we did talk about Bob Lazar a little bit.
Yeah, and Bob Lazar, Stanton Friedman completely said, goes against anything Bob Lazar said. He doesn't believe Bob Lazar is real at all. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't know that. He doesn't believe he's real.
I mean, I'm sorry, what he was saying is real, but I meant his, like,
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
he believes he's real, yes, as a real person. What I meant to say is he doesn't believe his story is real, is what I mean to say. Him working at Area 51, or he might, maybe he did work at Area 51, but he doesn't believe that the stories he was saying about the alien spaceships at Area 51 were real. He doesn't believe that Bob Lazar is genuine in that way. So, which is interesting, because that's one of the things why I said I would respect Stanton Friedman, because he looks at things more objectively. Most of the people that saw Bob Lazar come out and say he worked at Area 51 and he saw these alien spaceships and he saw element, whatever the alien, I forget what the element was, element number such and such, that they would just believe him because they're looking for something to validate what they want to believe. Stanton Friedman looked at it and said, no, I'm looking for something that's more, that is more, that validates, not validates, but I guess validates the right word, that proves what I'm saying is real. He's not just, I'm not going to just believe anybody that comes out and says they saw something. I need something more concrete. And he believed that Bob Lazar was basically lying, I believe that he said that. So, but he did not believe a lot of the stuff. I don't know if he outright said he was lying, but I know he did not believe Bob Lazar's story. So, or his
Yeah.
stories, I should say. So,
I think the main Bob Lazar story, like he was hired to work at Area 51 to like reverse engineer like alien technology, right?
yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Okay. Awesome. And no, I would believe like Stanton. Is that his name? Stanton? Yes.
Yes.
Because he's like a nuclear physicist, which I'm more inclined, yeah, to believe than like someone with someone who is claiming. Plus, like, oh, there's like the whole concept that like nuclear energy was something that was brought by aliens or introduced to people by aliens.
Oh,
Or
really?
yeah, there's a theory about that. There's a theory that aliens are would stay away from Earth because of nuclear energy, or aliens would interact more with Earth because of nuclear energy. But there's a lot of like speculation on the relationship between like nuclear sciences and extraterrestrial interest.
So, do you believe that, like, the technology? There are a lot of theories out there that say the technology we have, in some ways, was obtained from aliens. Do you believe that?
I mean, not the technology we have now. I would have to. I think you would. I don't know, to have like a real like conception of that. I feel like you would have to exist in the time that this is being brought up, because what, being a zillennial Gen Z person, it's like the technology that we use most currently I've watched happen, you know. So I would have to have like some conception of where it all might have started, but I mean, between I don't know, like what could the energies, what specific energies are like people saying are being introduced to people like by aliens, you know?
Yeah. Well, from what I remember, the technology boom of the 50s and the 60s and 70s, they say a lot of that stuff was obtained from aliens that supposedly landed on Earth in some capacity, like Roswell. Are you familiar with the Roswell incident?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, supposedly that might have contributed to some of the technology boom that we saw during the into the 50s and 60s. Computer technology advancements were really rapid, and so they credit that. I don't believe that. I don't. I think human beings are very are able to do that on their own. I don't buy that, but that's what that's what the theory is. Things like that, and the microprocessor, very small. Like you talked about nuclear power and everything. So the atom bomb came out during World War II.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's ever been attributed to aliens, if there's any alien theory with that, because most of the alien stuff came out after World War II, but I could be wrong about that. Maybe it was attributed. So,
I
but
have my own little separate conspiracy theory for that time period and technologies coming from that time period. I don't think it was aliens.
okay, okay. So maybe
Is it possible that Chardonnay might think that most technologies inherited by the US, particularly in the 50s and 60s, came from Germany?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
well,
maybe.
yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, the rocket technology did come from there. From Germany after World War II. The German scientists came over to the United States, and that's our rocket program that we used to to launch people into the eventually to the moon. Those were all German scientists from the Nazis.
Yeah.
They so not all of them, I would say, but a lot of them. I would say everything, but there were a lot of Nazis that came over to the United States, former Nazis, and helped us out. So,
Mhm.
so yeah, that's not a conspiracy theory. That's
Yeah,
fact.
that's facts, right? No, I've been met with some resistance when I say that to some people, but
Oh,
I do live in Texas.
yeah.
Um, and like other stuff too, like audio tape came from Germany, like microwave popcorn, like lots of things.
Yeah,
Wait, microwave, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm so. It was interesting that you brought the audio tape because I was about to say the exact same thing. So when I was teaching, I used to. That was the things that I was the courses I taught were recording technology, and that was one of the things I used to say to my students. I would say the audio tape that we used, the magnetic tape, came from. I would say that I emphasize the Nazis aren't good, but they are responsible for the audio tape that we use that we're so accustomed to using through all the all the way through the 60s, 70s, and 80s and into the 90s. So
Mhm.
the
Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
no, I'm fine. I was just gonna say the other person that Stanton Friedman has talked with, I'm getting back to Stanton, was Miyacho Kaku. I never pronounced his name right. Have you heard of him?
Mm-mm.
Let me see if I can bring him up. Miyacho Kaku. Miyacho. I forget how to pronounce his name. He's Chinese descent. I know I'm butchering his name. Oh, great. Yeah, it's not coming up. Never mind. He's a scientist that I've seen him stand up on stage and talk about this with Stanton Friedman. So the Michio Kaku, I think is how his name is pronounced. Anyway, he's not one that talks about flying saucers at all, though, on a regular basis. I mean, he does once in a while, but he's mostly the type that talks about other things. So it's kind of funny to see him talking with somebody who's devoted, like Stanton Friedman was devoted to flying saucers, and
Mhm.
Michio Kaku would come on, and he was not devoted to it, but once in a while he would actually come up on stage and talk to him. It was kind of interesting to see the two of them up on stage because they're not really in the same area, so to speak. Michio Kaku was purely almost always talking about science only, not speculation
Mhm.
like that. And Stanton Friedman was more talking about, whenever he talked, it was always more about the speculation that exists. One of the things I heard about Stanton Friedman, I saw this on a video, is that someone claimed that the idea that he would always say that Stanton Friedman would say that the aliens it's being hidden by the governments. It gives this illusion of excitement, or I'm not sure what the right word would be, that the government is hiding this stuff, and you're going around saying, Stanton, that is, saying all these things, and that the government is supposedly hiding all this technology and stuff, or all this information. and it gives these it gives him like almost an adrenaline rush of some kind, maybe, I think is what they said, or makes him feel like he's important because he's talking about things that supposedly the government is hiding, whether or not they are or not. It makes him feel more important. I don't know if that was just someone's, I don't, like I said, I don't remember what the video was. That was just someone's opinion. So it wasn't like there was nothing established that was saying that Stanton Friedman was looking for that. I don't think he really was, but it was it was kind of interesting. How do you feel about that, as far as like people who are just looking to gain attention? Like I do think Bob Lazar was looking, getting back to him, I do think he was looking for attention.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's especially during the time like Stanton and Bob Lazar were like so prominent. Like that is the I always joke and say that's like the ultimate conspiracy is like there's so much mystery involving the situation. Like it makes you feel like more in the know to have a conspiracy theory. I think most conspiracy theorists feel that way. Um, and like what better way to gain a platform, than to like bank off of a nationwide insecurity.
Well, I know Stanton Friedman. You said it before. What was his? What did he do before he started doing that? What was his
He
position?
was a nuclear physicist.
Right. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember hearing about that from long ago. So, but he hadn't done that for a long time, right? That was
Mhm.
he did it like way back in like the 50s or something, or maybe the 60s. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Oh, well, I haven't watched him a while. I didn't realize how old he got. Wow. I've been supposed to watch you look a little younger, so I didn't realize he had gotten so old looking. So,
Yeah, he died at 84.
oh really? Oh, is that what he was? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Uh, all right. Was there anyone else? Oh, there we go. Michael Shermer. Um, was there anyone else that when you did your looking around, that you noticed?
Um, no, not really anyone that popped out to me. Or not like these guys, because these are like my favorite kind of conspiracy theories, are these old guys with their weird hair on their podiums jumping around.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
who's the
I
go
wish
ahead.
I wish we had dug more into Bob Lazar. Like he's the kind of fanatical that I like, that I like to see.
There was this the Bob Lazar. Who else was there? There was somebody else. I'm trying. I'm not saying anything because I'm trying to figure out who the other people were. Yes. Whitley Strieber. Have you checked him out? That's the other guy I
No.
was trying.
Who's
Yeah.
Whitley Strieber?
Let me bring him up here. Whitley. There he is. Whitley Strieber. He's a science fiction writer. You said you have not seen him or heard of him?
No, I haven't.
Okay. He's a science fiction writer. And a lot of people say his books are really good. I've never read any of his books. But Whitley Strieber is known for the movie Communion, which is about alien abductions. Okay.
Mhm.
And it came out, I believe the movie came out in 1991, I think. So, and the thing about Whitley Strieber, I think Whitley Strieber is just trying to make money. I think he's a grifter. I think he's a science fiction writer, and I've never heard anybody say anything bad about his story writing. They
Mhm.
say he's an excellent writer, but I have heard people condemn him because he went from writing science fiction type or fictional books to science fiction books to basically trying to say that aliens are real and acting like it's not science. So he went from writing basically fiction and so-called nonfiction with aliens and saying that passing it off as being real. And
Mm.
so I don't believe that Willie Strieber is genuine. I think he's one of the people that is just trying to make a buck. I really do. Um, he, like I said, he went from making science fiction to, like I said, nonfiction, claiming that aliens are real. One of the books, one of the first books that he did with that was Communion, which they made into the movie about alien abductions. Christopher Walken starred in that one. He played the part of Whitley Strieber. Um, I would recommend it. If you want to watch the movie, definitely check it out.
Mhm.
The thing that was interesting when the movie came out is that Whitley Strieber had a he talked he there's a video I'm sure you can find on YouTube somewhere where he's talking about how when he wrote the book that he didn't believe that alien abductions were real, which is kind of
Mhm.
funny. Over time he changed that story, but he said I don't believe alien abductions are real, um and I don't believe that aliens are visiting earth or something to that effect. And then like that was like shortly when the movie came out, and then after like 10 years later he's adamant that alien abductions are real. And he's come out with more books about aliens that are supposedly real. Called one was called The Greys.
Mhm.
I never read any of his books. So
No, I
uh,
think Grays is pretty famous.
and the one of and not only did he change his story that alien abductions are real, but he also said that his one of his ancestors, like an uncle or something, was part of the Philadelphia experiment. Was and then when he said that, I just lost. I was like, come on. Are you familiar with the Philadelphia experiment?
I'm trying to recall. I have heard of it. I
Okay.
can't recall exactly what it is.
It was supposed. I don't know how much of it is based in reality, or but the conspiracy part of it is that they were trying to make a ship that was invisible to radar,
Mhm.
and when they did so, the ship actually traveled through time, and they created a ship that could travel through time, and they actually made a movie about it, fictional movie, showing it, the ship going from during the World War II era to like modern day time when the movie was made, like the late 70s, early 80s,
Mhm.
and and then it goes back in time again. So and the conspiracy people love to say, "Oh, it's another government cover up." They look they created time travel and all this. And it's like, oh, come on! It's and when Whitley Strieber said that his whatever his great uncle, his uncle or whatever was part of it, he lost. He already lost credibility with me, but that completely lost all credibility at that point. I was like, give it a rest. Come on. It's like he's just trying to get money from people, and it's like, give me a break. I would not recommend Whitley Strieber as far as someone who has any kind of a believability factor at all. So
Yeah.
I would completely avoid him. Who's the other person? Oh, I forget his name now. This the, the uh this movie came out. Was it A Fire in the Sky, 1978? No, no, this one right here, Fire in the Sky, 1993. Uh,
Mhm.
I can't remember the Travis Nate. There it is. This is another guy that's like Whitley Strieber. I don't trust this guy. I'm not going to play this. I don't get copyright. Travis Walton. I couldn't remember his name. This is another Whitley Strieber type person.
Mhm.
He goes around. Uh, it's okay. Travis Walton claims that. But here's a fire in the sky. Basically, that he was abducted by aliens. And the big thing about his alien abduction was that there were like six people that claimed that they saw him being taken away. So the idea is, wow, he's got proof this time, or not proof, not physical proof, but he's got witnesses that can validate what he says. But the thing is, the witnesses never actually saw him being taken away per se. They just saw bright light and some sort of object, supposedly. And then they drove away and came back. When they came back, he wasn't there. So and it's a lot of people have analyzed it, and they speculate that he was trying to use this story to delay some, because he was very young. He was only like 22 years old, and he was like already like a manager of some sort of large business of some kind. And he was trying to use whatever he was in charge of. He was using the alien abduction story to delay something to do with like funding or something to do with the company. I don't remember all the details. And that was the whole idea. Was he did this, and it worked. It slowed down the investigation or whatever it was that was going on with his company, and so it was just a ploy to keep it from happening. There are people, the people who believe him. I'm sure there are people who believe him. I believe he's full of crap, just like Whitley Strieber. So the yeah, this guy up here at the top, Dr. Todd Grande, he does a good analysis of him. So I would recommend. But Travis Walton and Whitley Strieber, definitely money grifters. The one thing I remember seeing was when Travis Walton, I watched a video of him up on stage at one of these flying saucer conventions, or I guess they call them UFO conventions, saying
Mhm.
I'm not getting any money for what I'm doing, but yet he was getting money for being up on the stage. So how's he not getting money? And he also got, I'm guessing he got a lot of money for the movie that was made about his alleged story. So every time someone says they're not getting something or not doing something, I always say, I'm sure it's the exact opposite. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's probably getting a ton of money, I'm sure. So
definitely. Sorry.
I was gonna say those are two people you might want to check out. Just see, form your own opinion. In my opinion, no, I don't believe anything that they say.
No, I'm sure they're absolutely fanatical. I wouldn't trust anyone who came up in the who came out to like speak during that period of like ultimate alien insecurity. You know,
What do you
it's a
mean?
it's a very strange time period historically speaking. Like there is a lot of new technologies being introduced to society. World was changing very rapidly then. I think I don't know. I think the surgence of alien in culture at that time is just not something I would trust from like anyone, just anyone, you know? If
Mhm.
Neil Gaiman looked me in the eye and told me that aliens were real, I'd believe it. But I think that's the that's the only person who could like tell me something and I'd be like, okay,
Who'd you say? Neil who?
Gaiman. Or not Neil Gaiman. What's the guy's name? The guy from Cosmos.
Oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil Gaiman's the writer. Sorry.
Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you about Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah.
Yes, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I was a big fan of his. I watched a lot of his stuff for a while. So yeah, he also has. If you've got a chance, watch some of his videos where he debunks some of the alien stuff as well. He does a pretty good job of debunking his stuff. So,
All around great guy. One of my favorite public figures of all time.
oh yeah, excellent speaker. The one thing I find funny, I don't know if I mentioned this or not. If I'm repeating myself, please let me know. But when he goes up on stage, he'll take his shoes off and walk around in socks up on stage. And someone asked him, why does he do that? He said, because when he was younger, he used to be a ballet dancer, I didn't know that. He was used to do ballet. And he was so comfortable doing ballet that they not wearing, like, when ballet, they don't wear hard, they wear soft soled shoes. He just got comfortable doing that. That's why he does it. So.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, whatever helps the process, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's just funny to see a grown man wearing a suit, taking his shoes off up on stage. Something you don't usually see very much of.
I forgot. Oh, yeah, no, they people especially like conspiracy theorists from that time, they all come off as extremely fanatical to me. Even like the way Stanton does his like speech style. I'm not saying it's Hitlery, but have you seen like videos of Hitler speaking?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like that. It's like I don't know. They figured out the dynamic way to speak, you know.
Oh, I get you.
And they utilize it.
Gotcha. The movie another movie we were talking about was Contact, which you and I before we started talking. Have you ever seen that movie, by the way?
Yeah, I remember like snippets of it from watching it with my dad.
Okay, the scene where they get the signal back from the aliens and it's Hitler.
Exactly.
So did you want to touch on some of the movies that because you wanted to talk about how movies how close they get to the being what would be conceptually considered more accurate as far as alien conceptions would be based on our question we asked earlier? Did you want to talk about that?
Yeah. And not even like necessarily realistic, just like, but realistic alien like concepts are so far and few in between. Like everyone portrays an alien as something that is basically like something here on Earth or is Earth like.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about that, like, so I was talking about this with one of my friends, like if a universe, like a supernova from another galaxy, like on the even like the closest galaxy, it's like the closest galaxy is it's Andromeda, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um, so I just feel like, there's reason to believe that that star explosion might have completely different elements than the sun, right?
What explosion are you talking about? I'm sorry. We're talking about the Andromeda
Big,
Galaxy.
big bang explosions.
Oh, the original Big Bang from
Yeah.
19.
Well, I'm not like what are they called? Supernovas.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because I believe that's how galaxies are formed, right? Like it starts out from some smaller singularities that like explode and they attract like different star stuffs from other galaxies. I don't know. I'm not a
That
scientist.
that you got me on. That I don't know, but yeah, I do know Andromeda's next galaxy, and it's going to be colliding with ours sometime within the next period of time. I forget when. So this planet, if it still exists, may be wiped out when that happens. So
Probably, but I'm just saying like different elements probably exist in that galaxy than this one. Like the periodic table may very well be completely different.
I don't think that would be this. I don't think I know what you're saying, but I
Yeah,
don't think that's the case. I don't mean to. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I think the periodic table I think is pretty consistent across the universe. I'm pretty sure, unless there's some sort of radical something difference about the space it's that and the Andromeda galaxy is occupying. I think the periodic table is pretty much consistent. Um,
yeah, but do you think we've like discovered every element?
oh no, definitely not. No, so but yeah. Oh, do you mean like the elements that are undiscovered? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, go ahead.
like like the way elemental components exist here may not necessarily be the same there.
Okay, I get
Yeah,
you.
yeah, if that makes sense. So, like you were saying, like how our atmosphere is like carbon and nitrogen and oxygen, like an atmosphere over there could be like, I don't know, nitrogen and sulfur and carbon, or who knows.
Hmm.
So it's like it's unrealistic to think that an alien would be a carbon based life form.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, completely, based. Yeah, so basically, what you're saying is when people talk about the possibility of life, we primarily look at it like how we perceive life, and you're saying that well, we don't know that. Based on it could be completely different from what we understand life to be right now because the differences different parts, in different locations that may have evolved differently and have different atmospheres and may even
Yeah.
have different elements that we haven't even encountered yet. Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Structurally speaking, there could be nothing the same.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've thought that myself. I agree with you 100% on that. So, and I wouldn't even have I wouldn't have the vaguest idea of how that life would exist. Obviously, I mean, I couldn't even, but it'd be interesting though. It'd be very interesting, how that, how that would, would we be able to interact with it? If even if the life itself, it would like, I guess, if the life was like it had some sort of intelligence, like obviously, like uh, would we be able to interact with it in some way? You know what I'm saying? Would that would be interesting? I wouldn't even know how that would be accomplished.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Especially like ever since you brought up like the possibility, or I think I brought it up, of aliens like being like a underwater, like living completely in a planet that might be submerged in water, like one of the moons or something. Like I don't know. Would they communicate telepathically? Do you think?
Oh no, I don't think telepathy is real. Sorry, I'm completely
What? Don't fish communicate telepathically?
no.
No.
Sorry, I I don't I think I think that's more of a new age concept. Telepathy is, it's a belief. It's a spiritual thing. Sorry, so
I don't think so.
that falls out of the realm of science. I'm sorry. It's
Telepathy, not for Zoom. Noted. That's funny. I actually haven't speculated back on telepathy, like because I there was at one point where they were throwing around the idea that like, oh, we're not using the full extent of our brain capacity, and that's why we're not all psychic.
Oh, did we discuss this? Did we?
Yeah, we kind of touched on it, and I was
Okay.
like, oh yeah, well that makes sense. But that theory has long since been disproven, and
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever thought about it again. Like, oh, maybe we can't be telepaths.
No, we're talking about telepathy. I like telepathy when it comes to movies, even though I don't think it's real. I think it works well for movies. So that's fine. But the movie I was talking about earlier was Arrival, and I believe they used telepathy in that one.
Mhm.
This is the movie that I was talking about earlier at the beginning of our show. Have you ever seen this one, Arrival?
No,
Okay,
that was the one we were. Yeah, that was the one you had found, and I was like, no, I've never seen that.
let me bring up. I have another window up here. I can bring it up here. So, the little pictures on the right here. Basically, these big ships. They look like big teardrops. Let me bring up this picture right here. See on the left, that's like these are the ships that come down. And they come around I've seen the movie. It was pretty interesting. That wasn't the best movie ever made, but it was interesting. The aliens come down, and I think they use telepathy in this one. The thing I thought was really interesting about it was the fact that the actual alien concept was probably the most accurate way you could probably depict an alien without actually seeing one, because the aliens lived in different environments. They couldn't exist in our atmosphere. They lived in a completely different atmosphere inside their ship. They couldn't live in our atmosphere. They didn't even look anything like a life form. It was more like squids or octopus, kind of the tentacles. They didn't look like an average life form on Earth. And the way they communicated was with these. Let me see if I can show you over here. If you look at this little circle right here, they communicated with these circles. They would draw these circles, and that's how they communicated. They would draw these circles, and it was what I admired about it was it didn't just act like aliens could come to Earth and survive in our atmosphere, and somehow they would have two eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and talk to us or have some sort of communication. It was completely different to an extreme measure, and it was done pretty well. So
yeah. I'll have to watch it because I really like the idea. Because like most aliens are reptiles or insects or something of that nature.
Or if you watch Star Trek or Star Wars, they're all human-like.
They're all humans. They're all people. Or Avatar.
Oh yeah. If you go on Star Trek, I don't know if you watch Star Trek, but they eventually made an episode on Star Trek: The Next Generation. I used to watch the show a lot. Where they actually explained why everybody looks human when they go to all the other planets. It turns out that an alien race, several million years in the past, had gone around throughout the entire galaxy and planted their seed into the evolutionary whatever makeup of the planet. So eventually, humans would grow up all over the galaxy. So that's the reason they came up as to why there were human being type creatures all over the galaxy. So
that's hilarious.
I would recommend Arrival. I'm not, like I said, I don't think it's a great movie, but it's interesting. It's I won't give much away to it, but yeah, oh wait a minute. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Interstellar. That's another movie. Sorry. I thought he was going to talk about that one.
Oh, Interstellar was such a good movie.
Is that the one where they go to the planet? It's like almost like an endless ocean.
Yes, the one with Matthew McConaughey.
I forget who was in it. Sorry. I remember. I think I remember seeing it, and I don't remember though if it's the same one I'm thinking of. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I think so. Interstellar. Yeah, I think so. And Matthew McConaughey is in it, and I remember because I'm not the hugest Matthew McConaughey fan.
Is that the one where he at the very end it has some sort of weird ending or something? Is that right?
Yeah, like he ends up going into the black hole and it gets launched back in time and stuff like that.
And like he sees different rooms or something. Is that right? Okay, yeah. Okay, I don't remember everything, but okay, little images are just popping back into my head. So
I loved that movie. It was a really good movie. Visually, especially. Visually, it was just a beautiful movie.
I don't remember disliking it. I just don't remember it though for some reason. I was probably not paying full attention. Sometimes when I watch a movie, I just kind of like drift off and I'll do something else, and so I don't pay full attention. So it's like the movie Avatar. I'm pretty sure I saw Avatar, but I was probably busy doing something at the same time, so I
Mhm.
don't remember all the details to it. So, but how's were there aliens in that one? I don't. Was there any
No,
aliens?
I don't think they actually made any kind of contact with anything in that movie.
Okay, so as far as our question goes, this wouldn't be relevant as far as
No,
like.
it's a sci-fi movie, but it's not an alien movie. No.
Gotcha. The did you ever watch the TV series Battlestar Galactica from the 2000s?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay. So the interesting concept with that one was there was very, very, very little alien life in the show. It was almost non-existent, pretty much. I mean, except for like the final episode and when they got to was that Copal? What was that? The Planet of the Gods. There was they talked about the possibility that there might have been the human beings might have interacted with their gods, and there's
Mhm.
people implied that might have been like maybe they're interacting with aliens or something. I wasn't sure if that was what they were trying to say or not. But I mean, the idea of that show was interesting that there were pretty much absolutely no aliens at all in that show. So, and well, except for obviously the people that were technically trying to find Earth, there were aliens trying to find Earth. But did you ever see the original Battlestar Galactica from 1978?
No,
I,
I don't think I realized it was that old.
yeah, I've seen the original one from beginning to end, and the people who remade the show were definitely fans of the original show.
Hmm.
Uh, Ron Moore, he was one of the head writers. I forget. I want to say I can't remember the other guy. It was Ron Moore and some other guy. I can't remember the other guy's name. Anyway, it was very obvious that they were fans of the original show because the mini series, the first season, and most of the second season were basically rewrites of the original show. And but the difference was in the original show there were aliens all over the place. They constantly encountered alien life, and they were just basically it was kind of like Star Trek. You know, human beings. You know, they were just living in different parts of the universe. So, and what they did was they got rid of that concept and just said, nope, there's no aliens in this show. And I thought they did a pretty decent job. So, what did you think?
Well, I didn't see the older version. I
Oh,
only really saw like the 2000s Battlestar, or the 2000 Battlestar Galactica.
that's what I meant. I'm sorry. That's what I meant. The newer version. What did you think?
Okay, yeah, no, I love the newer versions. Like I grew up watching them. I'm getting to this point where I'm realizing everything I watched when I was younger is just a rerun of something someone watched in the 80s.
Oh, really?
I'm starting to not know how to feel about that. It's like, oh, my generation created nothing.
Yeah, no, it's getting kind of weird. I gotta say, I liked Battlestar Galactica. I was a huge fan. Except I didn't. I actually hate the fourth season. So I don't know if how you feel about the fourth season, but I actually hate the fourth season. So I can't.
No, I was pretty like I liked all of it. The fourth season wasn't the best season, but like it wasn't like the second season, but I mean like it was
I
good. My favorite sci-fi alien franchise like from this time period is Doctor Who. So
oh,
that's
okay.
yeah.
So when you say Doctor Who, did you watch the one? That's well, another one that started way back in the '60s.
Yeah, exactly. So my first doctor, my personal first doctor was the ninth doctor.
David was it Eccleston?
Christopher Eccleston, yeah.
Yeah, Chris. I couldn't remember his name. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, okay, that's interesting because yeah, I watched Doctor Who. My dad and my sister were fans when I was younger. They watched the older Doctor Who, and
Mhm.
also my best friend Trevor. The three of them they loved Doctor Who. My sister probably would deny it nowadays, but the I never watched it. But when the new one came out, it was in 2005. I watched it and I got hooked on it, and so I liked. I liked the ninth Doctor, and then I liked David Tennant also, the 10th Doctor.
Yeah.
So, and then I stopped watching after that. So I watched it from like 2005 to 2010, and then
Mm,
after that, was it Smith? Was the guy Smith? I can't
yeah,
remember.
Smith.
Yeah, but yeah, I stopped watching. I didn't watch him. Not that I didn't like it. I just just didn't feel like watching it anymore. And so when I eventually I went back to try to watch it, and I just couldn't get back into it again. So, but yeah, I was a diehard fan of the for 5 years I was a diehard fan of that show, and then it just kind of faded away from me. So
I feel that was how it was for me after Capaldi, the 12th Doctor.
mhm.
I stopped watching like halfway through his season and just haven't been able to like get back into it.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Matt Smith wasn't my favorite Doctor either. Christopher Eccleston was like hands down
Oh,
my favorite.
he's
Uh,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah, my favorite retro Doctor would probably be the third Doctor, but like I didn't go back and watch the older Doctor Who's until like way after the fact.
Hmm.
But as for like 10 and 11, there's like this real period where there's this really weird period where I don't know, they try to make the Doctor too appealing to young women.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and how'd you feel about the Rose love story? How did you feel about that?
It's the only true love story there is in Doctor Who. That's how I feel about that. That was a great love story.
I liked it, but I didn't like how they wrapped it up. I didn't like the fact that Rose ended up going with the copy of the Doctor instead of the real
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, right. That didn't make me happy, but
I was really upset with that. I was like, you got to be kidding me. She would rather settle for a copy that only existed for like a couple of days that has the memories of the Doctor rather than the real thing. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I guess in the sense that like I am always a fan of when like romances don't quite hash out. Like my friends always say it's just come because I'm a pessimist, but if a story doesn't have like a happy like resolution, then I'm happy, you know?
uh-huh.
It takes away from the monotony that I feel like happy endings can create. So like in the sense that I feel like the Time Lord that Christopher Eccleston was, like who the Ninth Doctor was, I don't feel like romance was ever really part of his agenda, really part of his personality. I definitely don't think it was something he was ready for.
Right.
So I'm happy in that sense. I'm happy that they found a way to do both.
Mm.
I would have been happier if he just told Rose, like, no, I can't be with you. I'm the Time Lord.
Yeah, I would have been content with the idea that they stayed separated, because there's that one episode where they got separated permanently, or so-called permanently, but eventually they came
Yeah.
back. Rose got stuck in the other universe, and that's when the actress left the show. And I would have been content with that, because that was a real hard show to watch for me, because it was like,
Yeah.
because she was really, you could tell what's her name, the woman that plays Rose, really, she really poured it on. I mean, she really, you could tell that she was doing a really good job of showing the love that Rose really had for the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And that was I would have been fine if they had just left it right there, but when they brought her back, I thought that was just, they should have left it alone, in my opinion. So
Definitely. I don't know, but I liked it. It was a good like wrap up. You know,
uh-huh.
it was something like I wouldn't have expected, and in that sense, I liked it. I do think it was like a cop out. Like, oh, she can have both, but like only for a few days. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel about the new Doctor? Have you seen anything about it? Some people say, I haven't watched it, so I don't know. I just watch people review. Some people say she's good. Other people say that she's not good, in the sense that she's just copying the older Doctors, uh, and she's not being her own self. Like I said, I haven't watched it, so I don't know. Do you have an opinion on the newest Doctor?
I've seen like 2 episodes of the new Doctor. Like, I fell off again like around Capaldi, so like I was trying to go back and watch it and just I couldn't get back into it either. But it wasn't because of the Doctor. Honestly, I would go back and watch it because like I have no idea what like a female Doctor character would be like, and I would like to see it.
Mhm.
Um, but as far as like her just playing off of like the other Doctors, like they realize it's still the same person, kind of, right? Or like it's still the same character.
True, and yeah. So So the idea that she is emulating the other doctors does make sense when you think about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's still kind of like it's still the doctor,
Right.
just female form.
Yeah, the I don't know. I haven't seen it. My dad said he's still watching it. He said he liked it, and I've heard a lot of people say that the newest season though is just not that good. I can't comment because I haven't watched it. I just know that a lot of people are saying it's not as good as it could be. I watch people review some of the episodes,
Mhm.
and they just there's I don't, a lot of them just say they just don't like the way the show's gone. So, and I guess you and I both kind of we faded off, so we don't really feel like watching it in any way anymore anyway. So I probably won't get into it at this point. So, but getting into our question, what do you think? How about the alien life on Doctor Who? I think it's kind of zany sometimes. I really,
Yeah, it's very zany. It's I don't know, it's old school sci-fi. So like it's not rooted in reality at all.
no, no, that's for sure. That's for sure. Well, you want to jump back to our question and see what we got
Yeah.
here? Let me
Mhm.
bring that up here. All right. There we go. Okay, I had to refresh the screen. I refreshed it once when we were talking there. Let me refresh it again. Okay. 153 votes and 3 responses. 68% said the Alien movies. Interesting. I misspelled alien in there. Oops.
Mhm.
The next one down at actually it looks like a tie. Avatar and Predator are both at 8. Oh, and Halo. That's also three of them. A three-way tie at 8%. Interesting. And Mass Effect is at 6%. That one took a while. I was watching it while we were talking. That one took a little bit. That took a little bit of time to actually get any votes. So I'm not sure why that is. How do you feel about that?
Like unless you've played like Mass Effect 3, I don't think anyone really plays Mass Effect anymore, to
Hmm.
be honest. Um, that's the only reason I could think, like, because the aliens in Mass Effect are honestly pretty cool.
Okay. Let's look
Mm.
at the. Oh yeah, yeah, you correct. Yeah, yeah, I spelled it wrong. Yes, I already said that. Sandeep says option one would be the aliens. Uh, Gaming Alive says second like and first comment from India. Okay, well that doesn't really answer the question. So, so
I like
um,
the enthusiasm though.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So I'm sure we'll get more of these. Did you want to wrap everything up?
Yeah, I'm good to wrap everything up. If you are,
Yep. Did you want to add anything before we say goodbye? Or
no, like we flew way off topic.
I think we stayed pretty much on topic because we wanted to talk about aliens from other shows. I think we mostly stayed on topic. I mean,
Oh
we
yeah,
did.
no, you're right. Okay, I guess I guess we're doing fine. I took like yeah, no, like I had like notes this time. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about all this stuff. I looked at the notes like maybe 3 times. Um, no, I think we're good to wrap everything up. That covers like alien fanatics and alien movies.
Okay. Maybe we can touch on that in the next show. Would you like to do that?
Yeah, I don't know. We can talk about something different next show.
Okay. Okay. Well, thanks everybody, and go ahead and leave comments, and if you want, but we'll come back to the question at the next show, and we'll see where that comes, or we'll see where that leads to. And if you have any more comments, you can leave a question in the comment section on the video itself. All right, thanks. All right.